A new bill in Missouri would make it a crime to let drag queens host story time in local libraries. Ex-gay abuse is now banned in Utah, and Virginia could be next. Chick-fil-a just pulled out of Scotland after months of protests, and a new documentary shows just how dangerous life has become for queer people in Chechnya. We'll have the week's top LGBTQ news and actions you can take on Weekly Debrief. Weekly Debrief is made possible with your support on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/mattbaum to support the show and get some backer rewards. A proposed bill in Missouri would throw librarians in jail for a year if they allow drag queens story time. The bill is sponsored by a Republican, of course. LGBTQ advocates are planning a massive protest at the Missouri State House on March 7th, with a large drag performer contingent expected. Utah has become the 19th state to ban ex-gay abuse of minors. The ban on pray away the gay exploitation went into effect this week and followed lengthy negotiation with the LDS Church, which initially opposed the ban. This is a huge step forward for ending the practice nationwide. Studies indicate that hundreds of thousands of children have already been subjected to this dangerous, scientifically discredited practice. Virginia could be the next state to follow suit. The Senate there just passed a bill banning ex-gay abuse of kids, part of a suite of legislation that includes equal access to education for trans students and a bill to expand human rights laws to cover queer people. But there's alarming news from Tennessee, where the governor just signed a bill to allow adoption and foster agencies to refuse to place kids with same-sex parents. The bill will limit the pool of available homes for kids in need, particularly LGBTQ kids, who are more likely to be in foster care following rejection from their families of origin. Scotland has booted out its only Chick-fil-a franchise after public protests. The restaurant had only been open since October, but local leaders pointed out that Chick-fil-a continues to divert money to anti-gay organizations and causes. Now, after only 3 months, it's closed up shop and left the country. A gay couple in India is suing to overturn the country's ban on marriage equality. The men, identified as Nikesh and Sonu, have been seeking a marriage license since they met in 2018. Their lawsuit argues that India's ban on marriage is unconstitutional. The lawsuit is modeled in part on the successful litigation that won marriage equality in the U.S. And a new film documents the atrocities committed against queer people in Chechnya. The documentary, entitled Welcome to Chechnya, was made by the filmmaker behind How to Survive a Plague and the Life and Death of Marsha P. Johnson, and although it's at times difficult to watch, it's a vital record of the human rights abuses that authorities, including those in the U.S., continue to ignore. It will stream on HBO in June of this year. This week's action item is to support the passage of the package of LGBTQ-friendly bills in Virginia. If you live in Virginia, or if you know anyone there, now's the time to contact legislators and let them know to support the pending bills that would expand protections on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. One of the best ways to do that is to head over to equalityvirginia.org, sign up for their day of action, donate, and follow them on social media. And as always, let me know about stories that need covering at Matt Baum on Twitter and on YouTube. If you find these videos helpful, head over to patreon.com/mattbaum to pledge your support and help keep them coming. And I'll debrief you next week.